Here we are on the long path. I started right by the police station, by the Alpine area off of 9W. Never started here. Always would ride up to the Rockley or the Alpine area. Plenty of shade in here. Looking for just a short ride today, stop and look around. It's, 1:15. I didn't realize there was an entrance right by the park lot. The last time I was up here, it was during the COVID period, and there were never any parking spots. I think I tried parking where I park now once, and everybody was just, outdoors since the parks had been opened, I guess. So we have the Hudson all along to my right. We're north of the GW Bridge, so I guess that's Harlem for a while over there. And boy, is it shady in here. Best place to be is on the trails, right? All this damn shade. Best place to be. I remember this was a little technical trail. Never done it on my hardtail. I don't think it's going to be real technical. I don't think it's going to feel as technical. We're going to find out. I think there's just a lot of rocks. Little things like this here. I wanted to try starting over by the Allison Park and enter the long path there. I remember when I did a long hike one time, there were some really spots that would be unrideable. But I guess you could just walk the bike, as long as there weren't too many. And that's back, earlier in my days when everything seemed harder. So maybe one of these days I'll try that. It's got to be on a quiet. It's got to be when it's quiet, like today. Everybody's probably back at work. So as you can see, hopefully the camera's angle. I have so many different straps and accessories I use to get each angle. Hopefully the angle is good, the way I'm using it now. Yes, it looks like through here. Just a matter of finding a little line through there. A little bit tricky. That would have been extremely tricky last year. No bicycles allowed. Here I am. It's kind of like hero dirt. It's damp or dark looking. It's not wet or muddy. It's just that the ground's still dark looking. I had no plans on, well, I didn't know if I was just going to ride around my home or go over to the Corte. On a real hot day, that's quite, you're exposed out in the sun. I would have went anyway, but then I saw somebody on Strava who rode Torn. I was going to go there. Then as I was getting ready, maybe I was going to go to Lewis Morris, then I was going to go there. This is my normal routine before a ride, unless I made plans with somebody. And then while I'm in the car, while I'm on the bike, I'm on the hardtail, cross country. Can't say hardtail, because a hardtail to me, I could ride that in, you know, jungle habitat and way on this cross country with a 100mm fork. And just the way it's designed, it's so much harder than a hardtail. So on this, and there's no rear suspension, and then 100mm up front is a little bit, oh, it's definitely a little bit, because when I lock it out, there's a difference. That's just a little offshoot to the right. So being on this bike, it kind of limits my options somewhat. And then coming up here, I was going to do Alpine. Then as I got closer, I said, I'll park at Alpine, or actually there's a spot on 9W you can park, just past, you know, the Ruckman Road where I start. Oh, the water's coming close, or the view's coming close to the right. Can I go out? Let's go out there and take a peek. So I was going to do Alpine, and then it switched to here. So that's kind of how my progression goes. All right, so here's it. Now it's a little bit cloudy out there. There's another nice view. A little bit over there for you. A little bit of waterfall action right there. That's it. It's not as a little bit foggy-ish looking out there, so I guess it's not perfectly clear, I guess, with all the heat and humidity. So as I was saying, that's how my decisions go. My back was really bad in the gym at times, then it was good, then it was really bad. The gym is the hardest thing in the world for me. It literally takes me double the time, because getting loosened up to do things, and the hardest thing in my life is to go to the gym and exert myself, especially in the morning when you got it just coming out of bed. But I do it. Does it make me feel any better? No. Mentally it makes me feel better. And I've been working on a little bit of leg and lower back strength, you know, the last year. And that's helped a little bit on the mountain bike, and all you need is a tiny bit. I always say that. A tiny bit of something makes a big change in what you can do on a mountain bike or a bicycle in general. So definitely doesn't seem to be helping my pain in any way. I just learned to live with it. All right, back to a better subject. So here we are, and this is so let's just see. So back there where I was, that was the most technical spot so far. I know there's a spot or two. But look how nice, just beyond mud. This is just beyond mud in spots. I think when I was in here last, I had to go around to the right there, I remember, because it was wet. This is just like almost hero dirt, so good. You gotta watch the cranks in here. Watch the cranks through there. Yes, that's a tough spot. And now you have this over here I can get around. I can see that being a real tough spot. Well, I was on the full suspension. I don't think I've ever had this in here. And that right there, I can see being a tough spot on any bike. But when I stand up on this cross country and just do the rocks standing and come on down on them standing, as long as I'm, pushing on the handlebars so I don't go over the top. Yeah, so that was a little tricky through there. All right, it'll wake me up. As long as I stand, like we always say, it just takes away the rear wheel having to deal with anything. Like the rear wheel doesn't have to worry about there being weight on it when it hits the rock that's following my front wheel, or somewhat following. All right, what do we have here? Again, I just kind of stood. That was a real tricky spot. I just kind of stood up, which is what I'm going to do right through here. That's what it is. Even when I ride on the points of the rocks, like I'm doing there, you have to go at the top. As long as I stand up, it doesn't matter. It's fun, yeah, but you're being thrown, but somehow we get to learn to keep our balance. Learn to keep our balance through all this stuff. I'm going to stand again, keep the pedals going. Yeah, so those are a few tricky spots there. I've been at it in my hip pocket, in my front pocket. Where are we going here? That was a fun little tricky spot. I remember that. I remember that. Oh, my hands are tired now. Yeah, I can rest my hands. All right, so there's a little succession of obstacles. You see that, George? So this is up. It's that long path trail where we started at Allison. It's a ways north of all that. Now, what am I doing right here? That was tough. I had to muscle all that stuff. Had to muscle all that. And here, I got up that sucker. Holy shoot. I got up that. Yeah. But I was on the wrong line when I came up it. Let's go back. We're going to come up it again, and then we'll take the line to the right. Remember, this bottom bracket is everything is real low. Cranks and everything is real low here. There we go. Up here. And so really, you got to give a hard push with the hands. I didn't do that as much the first time, but the second time, because I didn't get as much of a... Well, I didn't spring up before by pushing down like I'm going to do here. Push down, come up. I just kind of did a pedal kick. But the second time I went over it, I really, like when I got the front up, I just, off the seat, I pushed my hands real hard forward, and that kind of just rolled the rest of the bike up and over it. All right, so there are a couple tough spots. Now on the full suspension, all that is just absorbed. It's so much easier. I mean, so much easier. It's like all those, you're thrown half as much. It feels like there's not as much, you're not going over as much because you're thrown so much less. This is just fun, George. This is just fun. All right, put bug spray on it. I didn't bring my knapsack because I'm trying to stay cool. I have no padding on today at all. And here comes the flies. I put a bunch of spray on, even on my face, on my helmet, kind of. So we're trying to use the middle board. And so here I got to get over all of that. So I did a little bit of a wheelie off of that. I didn't clear all of it. The bugs are out. I'm glad I took this helmet with the flap on it. It makes a big difference. I was going to use my road helmet just for a change. But this flap, I can swat the mosquitoes or the flies, whatever is out there today. I thought like there would just be none because of the heat and the sun, but we're in the shade. And they follow you and they don't leave. So through here, that one I pulled the front wheel straight up over that rock that had the big gap in front of it. See, that's it, you know, as far as my skill level, that I could never do. And that, again, that's a game changer. When I do rock crossings, because that was like, you know, a 6-inch gap, right? You don't want to have your front wheel hitting there because it's going to stop it. And you're going to come to a stop where the rear is going to start to, you know, flip up in the air. You have to pull your foot out. So by doing that, it allows me to do a ton of things. When I rode High Mountain yesterday, there was a rock crossing that I, you know, instead of trying to go around it like I do and thread like a needle between spots, excuse me, I just went straight over it. And the last rock was like, you know, 1 inch wide. It was point. The top of it was a point. And I guess it was laying on its side because the point was like, you know, 6 inches long. But it was like 1 inch wide. And that's what I had to ride on. So when I saw that, I just went for it, and it worked out perfect. Now you gotta, like, you know, your skinny balance has got to be good because you want to hit it straight. So I'm just trying to be careful about the height of my bottom bracket, or, you know, hit it real slow. I banged the underneath. I think it chipped a tiny bit of the carbon, but it's okay. Remember, I don't weigh a whole lot, so like I'm a, you know, 190, 200 pound, real strong guy. I can get away with a lot. It comes to everything. All right, so hopefully the camera angle is good. I think that's the angle I put it in whenever I ride this bike. This bike leans me more forward, so I have to tilt the camera back. You know, back more, up. And unless I put an extra attachment on it, I can't get it tilted back. And you wind up just seeing like the front wheel, and you can barely see just a little bit of road in front of me. With the attachment, allows me to bring the, you know, the camera back. Now you can see. And I'm gonna stick to the, we have like a super wide view and a wide view, you know, on the lenses I can choose on the GoPro. And it's the wide view is perfect. Because the super wide, you see so far ahead and to the side of you, but it zooms it back, zooms it out, and everything is smaller. So I don't need to see things a mile ahead, but I want people to see plenty in front of me, and on the sides you only need to see so much. So being zoomed in a little bit closer, you can just see the rocks and things better. You see plenty in front of you. Yesterday's video at the Ancient Trail at High Mountain, that's where I did the whole ride, you know, with that. It was absolutely perfect. I had the height right. I just had a little bit of the handlebars showing. I had my backpack on. It was set up, you know, differently. I got to make notes on how I set up the angles on the camera for, you know, what bike. And then when I do the road ride, I use a different lens because I want to be zoomed in a little bit more. It's just different. So let's take a peek over here again. Another little offshoot. Yeah, it's kind of foggy. It's bench right here if you want to sit down and take a look. Jordan, since you're out in the Hamptons on a beach chair, we'll just show you what's here in New Jersey. So there we go. So we're a few miles up. I guess we're, geez, well, it doesn't look like the Bronx there. There's too many trees. So we're getting above the Bronx. Geez, we're getting up into, I guess, you know, the Westchester. I forget some of the towns up there. New Mount Vernon and stuff like that. You know, there's a few, then you go further. I don't know what those high rises are way back there, you know, because that's going, that's way east. Well, I guess it's out, geez, well, I guess you're getting out toward the Hamptons. And we're a little bit too high for Queens and all that, so I don't know what that is. Anyway, that's one of the offshoots. Let's look on the other side over here. So Jordan, you can live vicariously through me, since you're not mountain biking, dealing with your hips getting better. You can just watch my videos and vicariously, go on mountain bike rides with Rob Singer. Oh, look at this view here. Let's walk out and show you this one. This is a nice view here. This is a nice view here. All right, so we're looking north. Let's get over under the fence somehow. Can you see? So that's way north. I don't know what those things are down in the ground, like those metal things, like a little barge type thing. Oh, this is beautiful. Let's get the. There you are, straight across. Trying to get this cable out of the way. And if we look downtown, oh, I would love to have a boat, right? Let's get the camera down here. That's kind of a downtown view. There it is. And way down below there, so way down below along the shore, there's no, am I seeing the trailish down there? No, it almost looks like there's rocks, like it simulates a trail, but nope, there's no trail down there. This is it up here. This is, the long path, right? It's a green trail on the map. The long, not the long path, not trail. Yep. So let's come down here. I want to come down and make that sharp left on the bike. It's a fun little tricky spot. Right, and I'm up in the air. I don't have any option with the saddle here. Weather alert. I guess it's just the heat. I'm assuming the weather alert is just the heat. All right. So that was just a little offshoot. We'll take a scenic view in. I'm giving you all the treats today. So if you're watching this video, it's all along the Hudson. We're back on track here. Ride north. Remember, I have limited water. I took a big swig before I left. So this is where I can go. So it goes that way. Let me go along here, because I think this is the one I like. It stays closer to the water. Starting to remember where I'm at now. I mean, we can go all the way up to Nyack. You get into the I forget the name of that little park, not Rockland State Park. I'll think of it. I've been up here so long. The road cyclists come through there. It's right at Nyack. There's a park that goes through. It's along the water. Just follows north. There's another offshoot to take a view in. And so when I did this hike, I think it was like a 15-miler. I just started out and I kept going, and then I got all the way to where I started today. Because I started way down, by Allison Park. Wait, is that where I parked? Did I stop? Yeah, I started by Allison Park. I went, into the Catholic school there. I came up all along where I'm going here. Well, no, I didn't. From Allison Park, where I started today, where I parked my car, that's where it ended. That was like 8 miles, where that police station is, where everybody does, the climb when they ride the Henry Hudson along there. So that's where I turned back, and I went down along the water, and there was like a trail along the water. It took so long. You're walking on rocks for a little bit, not real technical, I think, just that you couldn't walk real fast. And then I missed a couple spots and wound up in the boat basins for like extra climbing and walking. And then it turned into I think it was like a 15-mile ride. It was a long hike. It was crazy. Really a long day. That's when I was resting my elbow. I was trying to stay off the bike, because my elbows weren't getting better. Neither of them. And so here's another, don't think this goes around. Here's another viewpoint. Oh, see if we can give you something even better to see here. I should be taking the camera off for this stuff. There it is up there. If you can see that mountain, that's awesome there. And there you go over there. I'm going to take my, do I want to take my phone out and take a picture? Yeah, it's right here handy. Yeah, I like that mountain on the side there. That's awesome. There's the tugboat out there. Let's zoom in on him. Perfect. All right. Yep. I think I've only done all this stuff one time. One time I was up here. And I remember it was like, you know, what was it, 1:30 when I started? What time is it now? You know, yeah, it was 1:43 now, so it's not like it's 9 in the morning and I've got the whole day, so I do have the whole day, but so let's just see. We're going to see how much further I want to ride. So when I go back up here, I have the option to go over and ride in Alpine. I don't have to go to Rockley. There's some easy trails in there, perfect for this bike. Or I can continue north. I'm trying to think of the name of that park right there. It's right along 9W there. I mean, everybody knows they hike in there. You know, go right to Nyack. I could go over in there a little bit. There was a pretty tricky, narrow section that. It was one real hard spot I found there. And then there was another spot that was pretty tricky as well. And I had all suspension bike that day. Did I have the suspension bike? I didn't see that woman. There was a woman who just walked up into this trail right before I did. Maybe she went someplace else. There was a little path instead of something like this that came to a dead end out there. I believe that was a dead end. They didn't look real hard on the other side. It looked like it was though. It was like a path that paralleled. I said to the left and right. To the left is where I came from. And here the car is right there, so that's 9W. But I thought there was a path to the right that paralleled this here. That was kind of fun to ride on. And that's what I thought went back to some scenery. Up here, see. You got it right there? There it is right there. Oh. Yes. Wait, did my memory work? Did my memory actually work? For me playing and crying dumb all the time, I can't do that anymore. Well, my memory worked just there. It was just it was briefly, it was for a brief moment, trust me. There's a couple little tricky spots. If I forget about the height of my seat, I just forget about it. You know, I'm actually okay. Because, you know, I'm not doing like these 90-degree drops. I'm not doing these crazy drops where I just can't, you know, hold on and not flip over. All right, so up here, we're just going to find a skinny path around these rocks. And get over them like that. What do we have up here? How am I I think I'm going to go to the right here. This is where, there we go. Yeah, there are a couple spots in here. What do I want here? Right up here. George, just fun riding, buddy. Just fun. I confused you with Paul the other day. You know, you're pretty sharp, and I said it in the text. I guess you got it. I thought that was Paul worrying about fitness, going fast. And when you made that comment, you know, you and I talked about who cares if we don't stress about going fast in the competition. And then that was you making that comment, and I kind of didn't get it, but I guess just being off the bike itself, right? You want to be on the bike. Whatever fitness, you know, you mean by that. Yeah, we all get it. Yes, that was tricky there. Now, I didn't get a chance to pull up on the front. I just made sure I was pushing hard when I landed right in front of that rock. That was going to stop me. And since you have a little bit of speed, it doesn't stop you. As long as you're pushing forward on the bars. And me carrying a little more speed, I guess that'll come. I'm a little bit too slow going into things. All right, so this was definitely the spot I was talking about. So I remember this right here. Wait, what is this to the right here? Another little technical spot. Let's get over here. Oh, what's to the right here? Oh, we got a little path going around. What is this? I know it's just an outlook. Just another little outlook. Yep, there's nothing. It's actually a path. I don't think this is gonna, it looks like it wants to be a path. But actually, it looks like it's sort of a path. Yeah, it's a goddamn overgrown path. I almost think that I rode this last time. Oh boy, see how I got the bars still. The bar, if I didn't have a sharp turn on the bars, dude, I didn't have time to, like, you know, flick one through at a time. Ah, awesome. So there's not too much I'm doing right here. But getting out, and since that's the path I was on, let's go back here. So this is fun and challenging. Challenging being all relative to what I'm doing today. But some of the spots are challenging for me. All right, so we got this tree here. So here, I used the tree to hold me up with my elbow. Is that cheating? Well, no, that was pretty tactful. The back of the top of my hand and my elbow, that was tactful. That wasn't cheating. Of course it wasn't cheating. Just being tactful. All right, don't need that tiny here. Oh, that was tricky. I kind of gave a little push to get the foot out of the way. All right, and here we are heading back. Searching out features, George. Searching out features. Could have went over that log there, but this is fun too. Looks like they notched it down for a bicycle. Right? Looks like it was notched down for a bicycle to get past it. Oh, that was tricky. That was tricky. No way it's going to show in the video. You got to climb up that rock. Well, I got the wide bars, so yeah. People, hikers, they think I have a bunch of people with me. If not, some of the young kids, they see the camera right away, the GoPro, and sometimes they comment about it. So I tell them, yeah, just something for me to do in my off time. I watch the video. It helps me learn where I was, relives a fun day. Now, George, those videos I did in New York, my aunt was absolutely bonkers in love with them. Amazing. She's never seen New York City like that, lived around here her whole life. So just crazy in love with what it was. And the fact that we had the camera on the helmet, right, it was a really good view for that day. And with you in front of me a lot of times, you know, it was a perfect angle for you. If I had it on my chest, it would have been nowhere near as good, you know, for a rider. So those 4 videos are freaking classic. I know you did a couple highlights, which is good too. You know, little cameras. It's like my old Garmin, you know, same quality, same thing. Just that I would bring all kinds of batteries and film like a day. But yeah. So we have another little offshoot here. There's a bench. Oh, look at that. Just take a peek out there for you. If you can see. Up there a little bit. All right, what do we have here? Oh, that was a little climb, and there was a log, a small log, and then there was a rock rise right there. You couldn't see it. Fun little challenges, George. I know Laura's home, so I guess you spend some time together since you don't see each other much. And then after August, was it 22nd or 2nd? Then you're back being solo again. All right, so this is where, if I go to the left, I can go back out. So let me see how I do this. Because there's a way to get out. There's a way to get out to, you know, that there's another section over here to the right to get me over to those other trails. Let me just see if I can remember. It's like off of 9W. It's not it there. Because where I went back there, you know, to my, if I went to my right, that goes peanut something. It's a hiking trail. Oh, the hiking is hard on these fucking, excuse me, on these big gigantic rocks. You got to walk on and off for a long time.